znovu vás pozdravujem z Angoly.
I greet you again from Angola. Despite the fact that the informal summit of the European Union on the U.S. peace plan for Ukraine significantly interfered in the course of the EU-Africa summit, Slovakia must pay attention to its relations with African countries. Not only because we are commanded by a sovereign Slovak foreign policy oriented towards all four cardinal points of the world, but especially because we should build on the era of the former Czechoslovakia's relations with the African continent. It was Czechoslovakia that assisted many African countries in their national future development and emergence from colonialism. We have built schools and hospitals here. We have sent many experts. We have allowed African students to study in our schools. When I stepped off a plane in the Angolan capital Luanda yesterday, I was greeted by an official representative of Angola, fluent in Slovak, because he had studied law in our country in the past, so that we don't stop with just talk. We are opening 3 new embassies in Africa, in Ethiopia, Tanzania, and Algeria. With South Africa, we have agreed on visa waivers for Slovak citizens, which can further boost trade and tourism opportunities. And today I also signed an agreement with the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Central African Republic to establish diplomatic relations. I assume that our intellectual leaders sitting in the cafe in Bratislava will not miss the opportunity to give these diplomatic efforts of the Slovak government an adequate recovery. They don't even like Slovak women and Slovaks. After all, 2/3 of them consider them stupid people. So why should they show respect to Africans? During today's summit, I had several bilateral meetings, most notably with the President of South Africa, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, the boss, which confirmed that African leaders have a great deal of knowledge of the European context and have sovereign positions on many events. In my speech at the summit, I made it clear that the Global South is gaining momentum and is rightly speaking out. I am convinced that African problems need African solutions and not Western wisdom. The Global South calls for non-interference in its own internal affairs. It calls for multilateralism. It calls for a more robust UN. It rejects a policy of domination of 1 or 2 countries over the whole world. On this, we are in agreement and we call for significant reform of the UN. For example, expanding the membership of the UN Security Council to include the countries of the Global South, especially the most powerful African countries. We want to act in this way even if Slovakia obtains a seat of a non-permanent member of the UN Security Council for 2028 to 29, for which it is applying. Today, I have also concluded several agreements on mutual support of candidacies for this seat on the Security Council. We are currently working on my official visit to the Republic of South Africa. I would like to emphasize again that I only go on trips abroad if they are well prepared and bring results. With a visa requirement for South Africa lifted, the existence of a strong Slovak community in this country, and the absence of any open political issues between Slovakia and South Africa, this developed country is of particular interest to us. I was in South Africa in 1994 as an international election observer and witnessed the breathtaking events of the end of apartheid and the rise of Nelson Mandela and his African National Congress.